Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to my business educational platform. Remember in last lecture of Introduction to Business Finance, we discussed the capital budgeting process and the capital budgeting techniques, in which we have discussed the payback period, discounting payback period, and net present value. In today's lecture, we will cover the internal rate of return and modified rate of return and the profitability index as a capital budgeting technique. So here remember we were taking the basket wonders data, so it will be the same for evaluation of IRR and MIRR. So internal rate of return represent that when your net present value is 0, that means the initial investment that you made and the amount you get is equal to 0, then that rate is known as internal rate of return. It is the discount rate that equates the present value of the future net cash flows from an investment project with the project's initial cash outflow. So here is the simple formula. It is cash outflow equal to present value of cash inflows. That will be the internal rate of return. So you know how we can find out the NPV. NPV is simply cash outflow plus discounted cash flows. We will discount it with the internal rate of return. So internal rate of return will be the used as hit and trial method. So we will estimate it based upon hit and trial method. So when NPV will become, until the NPV become, net present value becomes 0. So here is the basket wonders data. Remember we are taking it, so simply the outflow was 14,000, it was 5 years, and we are discounting it with the internal rate of return. So in order to find the internal rate of return, find the interest rate that causes the discounted cash flow equal to 40,000. So if we will find out the cash inflows that will be equal to 40,000, then that will be the, at that rate, that will be the internal rate of return. So as NPV become 0, as we are investing 40,000 and if we are getting 40,000, then the NPV is equal to 0. So I hope you understood the idea behind the internal rate of return. You will use the hit and trial method until the NPV becomes 0. So here outflow is 40,000. If you will find the internal rate of return for 5 years, it becomes the 40,000, then that will be the IRR. So you have to do it with yourself. Here is the acceptance criteria for the basket wonder. The management of basket wonder has determined that the discount rate is 15% for that project type. Should this project be accepted or not? So no, the firm will receive the 11.57 if you will simplify those cash flows with the internal rate of return. At 11.507, we are getting NPV equal to 0. Cash outflows are equaling to cash inflows. So then that is the internal rate of return. As it is less than discounted rate of 15%, then this project is not accepted. So what are the strength of internal rate of return? It accounts for time value of money, consider all cash flows, and there is the less subjectivity involved. What are the weaknesses? It assumes all cash flows reinvested at the internal rate of return, difficult with project ranking and multiple IRRs. If there will be the multiple IRR, it will become very time consuming, like you have to use hit and trial method until the NPV becomes 0. So then we have the modified internal rate of return. How we can calculate it? It is also technique for capital budgeting technique in order to evaluate the project, whether we should go for that project or not. So what we will do in modified rate of return, we will plot timeline separately for cash inflows and outflows. Then we will discount all cash flows to find out the present value at required rate of return or R. Then we will find out the future value by compounding them, and we will use the formula in order to find the internal rate of return. So what is the formula for modified internal rate of return? It is simply MIR 1 plus MIR or N equal to future value of cash inflows divided by present value of cash outflows. So how we can calculate the future value? It is simple. We will compound it FV equal to PV plus into 1 plus I power N, In order to find out the present value, we will use PV equal to FV into 1 plus I power n minus n. So for present value, we will sum up all, and it will be the 40,000, as we are investing 40,000 today. 0 represent today. And for future value, we will compound it with 1 by 1, like 10,000 with 1 plus 0.1 power 0.15 power 1, and 15,000, and so on. And then we will sum up all. We will come to an end that it will be the future value of 5 years will be 74,078 rupees and 62 paisas. So how we will calculate the modified internal rate of return? There is the formula for modified internal rate of return: 1 plus MIR power n equal to future value of cash inflows divided by present value of cash outflows. So what was the future value of cash inflows? It was 74,000, and present value was 40,000. So if we will put into the formula, we will raise 1.5 for both sides in order to find out the MIR. It will be 13.11%. So what will be the criteria for this project? As discount rate is 15%, and we are getting the MIR for 13.1%. So should this project be accepted? No, the MIR is less than the discount rate. This means that project is not profitable, hence we should not accept that project. So then we have the profitability index criteria. Remember how to find out the profitability index. It will be simply find out the present value of inflows divided by outflows, cash outflows, cash inflows. So what will be it? It will be the 0. If we will find out the present value of all inflows, it will be 38,578.72, and with the outflow is 40,000, so it will be the 0.9643%. So should this project be accepted? No, the profit index is less than 1. This means that project is not profitable, and we should not go for that project. So I hope you understood the idea behind the profitability index. Now we are moving forward. What are the strengths and weaknesses of the profitability index? So there exists it is the same as NPV. It allows comparison of different scale projects. However, there exists the weaknesses of that, as well as it is same as NPV, provides only relative profitability. So I hope you understood all the techniques behind the capital budgeting, like payback period, discounting payback period, internal rate of return, modified rate of return, and the profitability index. So these all the techniques are used in order to evaluate the project, whether we should go for that project or not. If the project is profitable, certainly we will go for that. If the project is not profitable, then certainly we will not go for that project, as the main aim behind, or any goal behind the organization, is being profitable and maximizing the shareholders' wealth. So in shareholders' wealth maximization, we have the profitability index. So we have to take into account the profits as well. So I hope you understood all the techniques behind the capital budgeting techniques. Till now, Allah Hafiz. See you in next lecture.